Welcome back. This is Tales of Gear. I'm Tom and you're watching the LBT series of videos. Today's video is about the LBT Spec Ops backpack. Before I get into detail, let's take a closer look. As you have seen in the video, it's dated 1989. The buckles are all dated 89, which makes it the late 80s LBT production. And as you have seen, it has this very early LBT t-shirt tag. Okay, very early t-shirt tag. If you haven't watched my videos about LBT history and LBT tags, make sure to watch them. It will be very informative and you will easier understand what I'm talking about here. Back in 2013, when I started getting serious about collecting early LBT gear and all other tactical gear for that matter, so back then I bumped on a few pictures where I saw this backpack owned by a military collector from Italy, Alessio. Hi man, hope you're doing well. And we got into contact, we started talking about gear, etc. So exchanging knowledge, how it goes, right? So, and at some point I've asked him if he would sell it. He said no sales because he can't put a number on it, but he would be interested in a trade at some point. I've asked him what he would like to trade it for. He said the silver tag LBT mini buttpack. At that point I didn't have such a buttpack. I think it was a couple years later I managed to get my hands on such a buttpack, but I wasn't ready to trade it for this one. So another year or two passed and I managed to actually find a second silver tag mini buttpack, and immediately I have offered it to Alessio to trade it for this backpack. He accepted. He was very happy about the mini buttpack because it was in mint condition. And I was absolutely freaking out when this beauty arrived, because this was so three years later after I initially saw it, and all those years I couldn't find one, and now I was a proud owner of this backpack, and this was back in 2016. Now I continued my research, and it turns out LBT made such backpacks throughout the 90s, but I have managed to figure out what I think is a much earlier one than this one. So after getting this one, a few years later, a very similar backpack popped up on eBay. At that point my budget didn't allow to go for it, and I was happy to see that it sold to a well-known Spanish military collector, Alan. Hope you're doing well as well. And after he got it, we talked about it, and he agreed that it could be the earlier version of this, so it should be an experimental one. It had no tags, and let me show you a few pictures of it. As you see, it's very similar in design to this one, so I'm guessing that this one is the experimental one, which makes this one the first generation production of this type of backpack. I will show you in a future video one with a silver tag, and we can also compare them. and you will see the improvements LBT did to this series of backpacks. Later they will have the A version and the B version. This would be the A version for harnesses, while the B version is more like for attaching to LBT's chest rig series. I will talk about that in some other video. Now, as for the collectible value of it, I'm considering it a highly collectible item, very valuable, and the fact that I've managed to actually find reference pictures of it contributes to its value, in my opinion. So let me show you a few reference pictures. You will recognize when I show you this book here. Excellent book, I can recommend. And on the back we have this here. Let me show you this one here. And here it is, the backpack. Okay, now let's see the description. Okay, so that's SEAL team member from SEAL Team 4 in Bolivia. I'm guessing this is related to Operation Snowcap. Google it, it's pretty interesting. And on the bottom we have another picture, and as you can see, here it is again. And also note these two cool early LBT 200 round gunner pouches. Okay, now this was pointed out to me by Alan, the collector from Spain. Again, thank you so much, man. I was freaking out when I saw these reference pictures. That's so cool. By the way, these reference pictures should be from 1990 or 1991. Okay, so the first generation of this type of backpack has one center buckle, while the second generation has actually two. And this one is cool because the sides of these pouches are made from a 3.5 inch webbing. The later versions were made by the same fabric as the main compartments, and the flaps are a double layer of Cordura, double layer, which makes it a little water resistant. The gear you would carry wouldn't get wet that easily, while the main compartment is just one layer of 1000D Cordura. On the bottom we have these elastic loops for carrying these handheld signal illumination flares. As for how it's carried and attached to a harness, I think this one was meant to be used with the LBT H harness. First off, let's take a look on the upper attachment point. My guess is because of these two plastic keepers here, or slides, as you can see here. I haven't seen it, but I'm guessing that LBT made a H harness which had 1 inch webbing sewn on the back to be attached on this, or LBT just meant it for use with this type of webbing to attach it to these points. Hard to say. I'm not really a fan of this type of attachment, and I guess this is why they have changed it in the later generations. I will make a video about a Silotech backpack in the future. So attached to the straps on the top and on the bottom we have a simple Velcro loop which attaches to the strap of the shoulder harness, and this is how it's fixed. Another feature, as for attaching, we have again on the top, let me show you, You may recognize this on some USGI backpacks, and in my opinion I think LBT thought it to be used with the M67 Alice H harness. This harness has the hooks on the back, which you can attach this backpack on, and of course the straps go through this Velcro loop. So two types of attachments on the top, and I will make some videos with this backpack in use, and you will see the ways of attaching it. As for the design, in my opinion this is a unique LBT design. Before LBT I haven't seen anything like that, even similar to that. LBT made these, as I've said, throughout the 90s, and around 93 and up you can find something similar made by Blackhawk Industries, and I don't think then that any other manufacturer of that time even copied this design. So only Eagle Industries had something similar, something like a enlarged butt pack that kind of looks like this, but I don't think it was a copy. So pretty unique even by the design. So in my opinion a very cool, highly collectible item to have in any collection. Thank you for joining me in this video. Hope you find this interesting, and see you in the future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.